Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Darksiders 3. So, weird thing, I had to exit out of the game and load back in, and oddly it just went to a black screen and didn't actually let me start loading in the game until I alt-tabbed out and back into it. Alright, so from the first game we kind of know that this is a activated switch, but I guess if you hadn't played the first game you wouldn't know that. We have now more of a destructible environment, and we have a shop here, and so we are staying, I think, oddly in the same place. Instead of getting back to where we were, it just fast traveled us. We don't have the wall jump, even though we have a higher jump. It's not high enough to get to that. So there, while I did say in the last recording that all verticality is kind of pointless now, obviously that's not really true. Some verticality is pointless now, and you can get to the general ceiling of most rooms. So, yeah, it does seem like we're going to stay in this area. Still not getting things for breaking things. Let's look at our inventory and see if we have enough crystals. I imagine we probably do. We haven't tried to change the sorrow yet. Shatter all of those, and all of those. And that should get us close enough. Interesting, that unlocked and dropped that item. This guy won't take damage, it'll just go through him.
I see you have procured the flame hollow. How much for it?
Little cutscene.
You're kidding.
I am. Look at you, learning to identify humor. That's character growth.
Well, you remain painfully the same. Do
I
you
wonder
want
what the eye
something?
on the front of her
Well, since
armor
you
is
asked,
supposed to represent.
I require... Oh, I hate this word. I require your help.
Like he has a eye on his armor, but it's not glowing.
Really?
And truly, as you know, I'm a demon about town, a busy soul trader. My business takes me all across this world and others. But something is blocking my way. Someone is muscling in on the serpent holes. This invasion has stripped me of my ability to move freely throughout the realm.
Sounds like your problem, not mine.
The Stone Marauders wish to control the serpent holes themselves. One must confront these unwieldy beasts for the good of all.
What's interesting is how his
Right. But for the
mouth
good demons and
movements
horsemen, the serpent
feel
holes must be cleansed. And that flame hollow is the first key.
kind of random in the movements.
As you know, I am unfit for such an outing, but you and your whip
It's like
are
they
so
half
much more persuasive.
modeled
I help
lip
you?
flaps that
This has
match,
the
and then
makings
they
of a mutually
gave
beneficial
up.
relationship.
I've heard this before. Still not happening.
Which, in all fairness, maybe they
There
are
are
doing
treasures
just like
hidden
face
away in the
capture
serpentine
and trying to
network. You
map
clear
it
the way
to
for
the
me.
jaws of
They
a
are
demon,
yours.
where it just really wouldn't
You
work
will
too well.
require more hollows to traverse the network in its entirety, but it will be worth it. Unlock the passageways, lay waste to the Guardians, and I promise their bountiful treasures are yours and yours alone.
I'll consider it, demon.
Ah, Fury! How kind of you to pay me a visit. I trust the slaying is going
What it
well.
also feels like is that
None of your concern, demon.
Your
they're
tale
cutting together
betrays you,
different cuts, different attempts at doing the face capture when they really should be
That's no secret.
switching back and forth with the camera to hide those cuts or splices between different cuts.
You are not fit to speak his name.
No need to unleash your might on me, horseman. Look to those who would benefit from your failure. Your enemies are closer than you think.
So we don't know who killed Rampage. Interesting.
Take your time.
Right. We are now at a point where hollow armor is potentially available, so maybe we should just save up for that. Plus 5% physical damage reduction, not reflection, and plus 5% lurchers from shattering crystals. So obviously that's the right move. We need this flame hollow armor quickly, and arguably that we should have not used any of the crystals that we had shattered to get more lurcher souls. Okay. And so questline wise, I don't know if he was really saying, because I wasn't really paying attention enough, that I should use the serpent holes and take on that, or whether I should go this way and have this way benefit me more. I guess we should go this way and see if this isn't much of anything. So yeah, those are the Y attacks, and seemingly the Y attacks are designed in such a way that they are not as wide, but they probably do a little bit more damage. Oops. I may not be able to get back up there. It's slow walking in the lava, certainly, but to be knocked down like this is probably a mistake. Artifacts can be used as weapon enhancement. Whole thing should be able to make use of them. So we may very well have an idea here where we're supposed to just go deeper and deeper in the lava. Like, you kind of don't have any other choice. Like, I'm not really seeing a lot of options otherwise. But obviously, they're supposed to let you come down here if you choose. Notably, though, you don't really have a fast travel option. Not in such a way that you would be able to like go back to a checkpoint or something. But that could just be that this game is a little glitchy. There we go. Notably, I want to point out, you probably would die down there. It feels like you should die if you fell down that way. We are not in Earth anymore, and this has been kind of consistently the way these games have played, is that you get a minimal amount of time on Earth, and then you end up in a dungeon where all the graphics and all the visuals are more of a heavy metal album than anything else. Yeah, I guess I go this way, and if I am supposed to use the serpent holes, and I'm supposed to use the serpent hole specifically from that shopkeeper position, I'll use the serpent hole to get to that shopkeeper position and then move forward that way. Let's see. He still takes a lot of damage. Almost fell there. With the regular attack, that does a decent amount of damage. Notably, it's also a little bit faster than this is. But it does seem like you probably are supposed to have an ability to climb that wall, like stick your claws into the wall to reach that point. I don't think we're going to run into too much of a problem. This guy is big. There's some kind of crystal. I couldn't even see the crystal to get that hint. And I guess the question comes back to where's your checkpoint there? Does that mean all the effort to kill everything before this point is reset, or does it just mean that these enemies will always reset, give you something more to kill? Well, if I look at the amount of lurcher souls I have, I feel like I may have lost quite a bit of them. These guys will actually attack you, I'm fairly certain, and that this isn't like that previous section. I guess the question is, did I collect that collectible? And I think I did. I'm not seeing the collectibles respawn. Obviously, these guys sitting down are going to be slow. But I feel like what I'm doing here is working my way towards the 7 deadly sin, when there's probably a little bit of side content that I should be paying attention to. So crystal above the head is the strategy. So let's see if we can sneak up on them and do this. See, falling like that doesn't actually kill you. Thank goodness for that, because that would be fairly unfair. Like, This is getting really ridiculous, though, you have to admit. I mean, that is pretty crazy for him to just kind of edge snipe you here. I don't think I have a way to raise that bridge from this side. But I also don't think I've quite hit the point where it's completely unbelievable that I shouldn't be able to reach this. You couldn't get through that gate without the flame hollow fight. And I don't think the game is going to even let you switch between flame hollows or different hollows until you get a second one.
These poor lost souls. Ugh, I feel no envy for them.
So yeah.
If you were any softer, you'd be a cloud.
We're getting a little bit of health killing these guys, and obviously we're going to want to try and have more of that happen as we play. Just ways in which you can break more things and benefit from them. We're also totally looking for souls. Stone automatically increases the storage capacity of Nephilim's Respite by 1. So there's an upgrade, which is nice. We really needed an upgrade like that. Like, I guess we're actively looking to have 10,000 souls before we break any more crystals. And we're at 3,500, and Volgrim's shortcuts here feel like they're fairly obviously also checkpoints where you're going to respawn. We're seeing increased weapons with these skeleton-like creatures. And these skeleton-like creatures are the things that we were fighting, I think, in the first game a lot more often. Nothing up here. I thought there might be something. Well, I can go down here, so I should check to see if there's anything behind this waterfall, which there is. Very video game. And with the Y attacks, that was pretty easy. Though here's the issue. I feel like jumping through that and then jumping back up there is not doable. So if there is supposed to be some kind of crawl space back that way, I'm not going to bother to try to get to it. This is kind of interesting design in that you see these specific spots on the rock to indicate this is where you should try and climb, but they're not really adding any brightly colored differences or anything else. It feels very natural. Yeah, I don't think you really are supposed to be able to get up to that area. The game actually feels like it's trusting the players.
It appears your poor lost souls have found a purpose. Aren't you thrilled?
It's interesting how they all dissolved at the same time there. I like the idea of being able to kind of go wild and spin in circles and attack with the whip, but I don't know if it actually, gameplay wise, is as controlled as you might like it to be. Like if particularly in narrower sections like this, you're getting into combos and just wasting time pressing the buttons over and over again, or doing attacks when the attacks don't do anything. I don't know what that did, but it definitely feels like this should be a door. If anything, I guess the game has probably missed something that I believe was in the second game, in that when we hit start here and look at the menu, there is not a mission or a quest, not even the smallest of hints to say, hey, this is the thing that you're supposed to be doing at the moment. That seems a little awkward and weird. Like, here, this is a statue that we would have seen before.
The earth never ceases to impress with its variety of abominations.
I thought they had all been destroyed.
You know these things?
When they roamed free, we called them the Chosen.
I'm going in a completely different direction at the moment. So, I triggered the cutscene there. Alright, so, timing. You've got to get both bridges, which probably means I need something like a boomerang or some kind of similar weapon to go further in this direction. And we can see this was more of an angel's hangout before.
Perhaps you fled and not an oath, but now there were a way to use them to reach that crystal.
What would be the thing about the... Okay. So this would buy me some time, but only a little bit. You go up here, and then you try to dash this way.
Interesting. These chambers seem out of place.
They are old. Neither of heaven nor hell, to be sure. Early humans, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I'm a clever thing, mistress. But even I do not know everything. Especially when it comes to the minds of men.
I guess this door over here was more hidden, so this is probably the side quest you want to do first. So let's go see what the Chosen are like and what they're doing. Okay. Flame Warden. Let's I didn't really even try to hit him because I was trying to go into a chaos form and hitting the wrong button. Right. I need to check something here though. How many of these do we really have? Yeah, we're losing all of our crystals when we die. So, I mean, maybe you have a chance to earn them back as you're fighting other people on your way back up the path. But that does effectively mean you're going to have to kill everything and you can't just rush past something. So maybe there's even an argument to going back down there and fighting that guy, although I suspect the guy down there is I expect the adamantium character is more of a prominent character, so he probably is gone. It's left bump and right trigger, and I was trying to hit, I think, left trigger and right bump. Alright. So... And I guess I can't do Y attacks when I'm in the chaos form. And I guess those big sections of those big collections of ghosts obviously are fairly sometimes going to be where I died, and that's where I just recovered everything that I dropped. Alright. So now we're back up to 4,500 souls. And we have an Essence of Chaos. Highly magical, this Ichor possesses potential to unlock power in a weapon enhancement. Thane will want to see it. I feel like at this point I probably could get a weapon enhancement. I don't know if I'm quite to the point where I should do that, though. And if it's like the previous games, I doubt getting a weapon enhancement would also end up giving you any Lurcher Soul crystals of that currency. But yeah, we definitely have a lot of angelic artifacts. But going back to Haven very possibly would give us a bunch of reward for the 2 humans we've saved so far. I mean, I don't know how many humans we're really going to end up saving. It might be a lot smaller than I thought as far as the numbers. I was thinking 50 to 100, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's closer to 20. So we're back on track now. And it may very well just get down to our decision and our decision only when we want to go to Haven. It probably, next time we see a fast travel section, would be wise to do it. That'll let us do the Serpent Hole. That'll let us get back to Haven and see what we can concrete. This guy has a lot of armor on him and definitely is trying to do more defense than any of the other characters we fought up until this point. So when we collect these green souls, it's important to remember that the green souls are recharging Nephilim's Respite, and then you have to use Nephilim's Respite to actually recharge your own health. So it is this odd, connected but not automated system. Here we need another sword. This is all very similar to some of the dungeons in the first game. Like, same imagery, same items. Which, yeah, there really is no good reason that you would have potentially gotten rid of that kind of content and tried to do something different or completely new. There you go. So there's our choice. I think the Serpent Hole back to Haven. As soon as we can get to Volgrim, which requires opening this gate or opening this gate. And I don't think just breaking that gate would open it, so I would assume the trick is to actually go this way. Which that was a slightly dangerous jump, but not really. That too is a slightly dangerous jump. And obviously at some point I don't want to actually walk around that way. I'll just come over here and kill him through the window. Since everything gets absorbed and you just have an item magnet, which is lovely to have that. Eventually we'll have another shortcut that will lead to another area that looks like actually that one's gonna lead directly outside of this Hollows area, which I almost wonder if this is just underground in a point on Earth, because I was kind of more expecting it to be a different dimension completely that you got teleported to. Hell of some sort. But maybe not. Maybe they are going to just try and keep everything interconnected. Can't, I guess, do anything with Volgrim until we find Volgrim. There is an obvious benefit to I'm still taking some damage, and I suspect that's probably just because there's always going to be too many people in the area, which makes a great argument to increase your defense and damage reduction. There's a desire here to break these coffins, looking for collectibles, obviously. And it does kind of feel like there's an alternate version of this game where this pedestal would have items on it that you could actually pick up and use, and that there'd be some value in those items. Now, obviously, that group of souls is not a group of souls left because I died. So there is a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B as far as where these souls come from. Right, down. Interesting. Destroyed it as I was falling. We can see that there's a whole tomb. Yeah, there's actually, I guess, nothing on this floor. So I guess the idea is to shoot yourself up, and maybe you'll get lucky and find something, and maybe you won't get lucky, and maybe you won't find anything in these. It does kind of feel like, though, it's fairly going to be grindy to have to go down what is gonna be a 9x9 grid. To grind through all of that. 9x9 grid's not accurate. It would be 2 3x3 grids. Alright. Still taking a little too long to kill all of these enemies. That one was broken. Okay. Let's see, that is the final position. It's awkward to say the least. Alright. Well, the good news is I think I've gotten them all. But That was kind of a lot, and maybe we will get to a point where we just have something on our marker, our little radar in the top center of the screen that would just tell us where these kinds of collectibles are, so that we're not going out of our way and spending a lot of time to try and collect that stuff. Is this not where we're supposed to go? Well, I'm shocked by that. I thought for certain that was where we were supposed to go. So where am I supposed to go then? We don't have a sword here we can grab. We have lava over this door. Don't have a sword over here we can grab. Oh, I guess we were supposed to go down into the lava. That's less than obvious. A little bit of polish there could have helped as far as just lighting things better or pointing the way. But, you know, just giving me the thing I need, which is a slightly better breadcrumb trail than just a generic go this way towards the 7 deadly sin prompt. What is this? Starting out on fire gave me that. Okay. And I feel like I very possibly have just gone in circles here. Notice how she doesn't even bother to bend over to pick it up. And then she doesn't bother to put it into place either. Right. Dash, attack. Puzzle solved, that's where we should go. I imagine that's where the boss fight is. And then over here, I'm hoping, is just a little bit of extra reward for being thorough. Yeah, I think that's the case. Good. So do we want to go another 5,000 and risk it? Or do we want to break potentially 5,000 worth of these, which we probably don't even have? Well, 4 would be 1,600. Plus that would be 1,700, plus that would be 1,800, plus another, that would be 2,600. Yeah, we don't have enough crystals right now to break, to justify that. Alright.
What would you ask of this? Please
Serpent holes.
take your time.
Crossroads, Maker's Forge, or West End. Where are we right now? Is, I guess, the hope. Travel through to Maker's Forge. Is this going to have us actually go through serpent holes like the first game, or is this just going to be a fast travel? It was just a fast travel. So that definitely tells you something. This gives us a nice opportunity to come back here, because we didn't really look around when we were here the first time. And it does seem like there are some other pathways.
I can finally sleep safe.
I potentially could just destroy everything in this room, but I don't think it's going to give me anything for doing it. This very possibly is just a bunch of rooms.
I'm glad I'm not out there anymore.
Each of these characters being given simplistic lines of dialogue, but seemingly not a lot of dialogue. And that, I suppose, would then connect to another area later on.
Well met, horseman.
Yeah, by default, it does seem like a lot of these.
For saving me.
It does just feel like these characters are going to have extremely basic lines of dialogue. But that really isn't a lot of room for a lot of people. Like, even if you're expecting there to be like a person on the bridge side by side just looking down at you, that would be the maximum number of people, I'd imagine.
Even welcomes you.
Can't even talk to these two characters. So pretty much the only person to talk to is this person, and we don't know what he's really building at the moment. I assume it's probably a forge.
Well met, Fury.
Okay. Let's see if we can upgrade a weapon.
Down a mighty hurt, are we?
Barbs of Scorn using adamantium or silver adamantium. Well, using silver adamantium for both of them could give you a slight base upgrade.
All right, let's see what I can do for you.
Or we start to upgrade this fortifier to increase health and damage. I could do +1 on angelic and increase my health, or I can do +1 on demonic. So I think what you do probably is you go physical and arcane damage with the weapon. I think that is the better move. And it does seem like that is going to lock it down in a path.
Some of my best work.
And we don't have enough demonic artifacts to go any further, and obviously it has locked us out of anything else. But yeah, slight upgrade there. This is now a demonic fortifier. So if I wanted to make an angelic fortifier, I would have to start again from the beginning as far as the upgrade path, and we may just never find an unfocused fortifier again. To get to the balanced fortifier, you need 12 angelic artifacts, which is, I think, effectively the same cost you would have spent upgrading angelic fortifier to 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it's just you're going to get a very delayed reward as far as your health upgrade until that point.
Interesting. Aiming to lay down a mighty herd, Harry?
And yeah, I think there's a decent chance the Barbs of Scorn will stay around for a while, so let's upgrade that. And you're getting achievements. I remember in the first game you got like a ridiculous amount of achievements around doing everything once. So yeah, I've gotten a ridiculous amount of achievements for as much as I've played this game, and there's a good 50 plus. Let's upgrade it again. And let's do an experiment as far as just what the max level of Barbs of Scorn or Chains of Scorn would be. We didn't get any souls going around that area.
What would you ask of this? Take your time.
Let's see. I could potentially sell things if I wanted to, and selling things might not be the worst idea. But I really don't have a lot to start thinking about selling. And as far as silver of adamantium, I guess you have an infinite amount of it if you want to purchase it. And unfocused Leviathan, I guess I can buy now. So do I want to buy it now? Plus 5% lurches when breaking objects with this weapon. 18 plus 18 regeneration per minute. Or do we want to wait till we get to the Flame Hollow armor? Oh, it's a crappy choice, certainly, and I don't know if you really should be buying these specials from the store, or if you're going to just find them. Regenerating 18 health per minute probably isn't that useful, and 5 lurchers when breaking objects is interesting, but then the unfocused Leviathan really would have to be equipped to probably my Y weapon, and then I'd have to break everything with the Y weapon, so then I'd probably really have to connect it to the whip and lose the benefits of the item I have on the whip. Rejuvenation cores, there's one of these, but we found one of these. I guess that probably tells us something, that is, if in the game we found rejuvenation cores, the special to buy any of this may be unnecessary, although I do suspect the Flame Hollow armor probably will have to be bought through the ship.
Please take your time.
Interesting. So I suppose this is a marker to tell you where you were last or where you're supposed to be going, and this does now tell us as far as the areas we've been and where we would want to go. This void is very possibly a Crucible DLC. Inherently though, looking at this, we may have seen half of the entire game and half of the entire world. That doesn't really feel right. Though I imagine even if we have seen half of the world, we'll end up in storyline sequences that would force us to do more.
So, 3 swords total?
So it seems.
It's always 3, isn't it? 3 keys, 3 stones, 3 swords. Rather predictable, don't you think?
Have you lost your mind?
No. I just when the creator takes shortcuts.
I suppose that's a bit of meta commentary on video games to some extent. Maybe not too much of an extent. It's really more of a Nintendo thing, with things come in threes in Nintendo games than anything else. There's been plenty of games I played where you have to hit the person 2 times or 4 times or way more than 3 times. And when you think of like the Hyrule Triforce, yes, there's 3 pieces of the Triforce, but that doesn't mean in every Zelda game you end up having to just collect 3 pieces of the Triforce. There's actually potentially 4 pieces to the Triforce depending on how you arrange it. Here you have a statue of a giant knight of some sort holding up the whole room. Wonder if I'm supposed to jump down in the lava and fight that guy. Yeah. Can I get a dodge attack on this guy and kill him? Nope. Come over here and kill that guy too while we're at it. Luminous Village. These tattered remains can be shattered in your inventory to capture powers trapped within shatter to gain an attribute point. Alright. Should I shatter it now to gain an attribute point, or should I wait until potentially there's a way you could get 2 attribute points from that? I imagine you can't get 2 attribute points by shattering it. Getting stuck on the rocks over here. You inherently have to break everything anyway, so probably should just get the upgrade that gives me more crystals. And if anything, I probably should have upgraded that enhancement. Not. There's one sword. Not the enhancement I already had. So I've almost certainly made some strategic mistakes. Although I'm not sure you really have to min-max this game so much. That's potentially a sword. Positional where a sword was at one time. We're still getting the odd pop-in. One of the things this game and many games could fix with the pop-in is when they're debugging, they have have it by default be in a white boxed kind of area, so if the textures aren't loaded, it's very noticeable. But at the last second, it wouldn't be terrible for them to go the opposite direction and put the skybox as being all black. Darn it. And I assume I'm not actually losing any percentage of spirits, as long as I don't die a second time. But then with everything resummoned, you have to be a little careful there. You may lose all of your spirits if they manage to kill you a second time. That would feel somewhat fair. Remember, I'm playing this game in story mode, so who knows if on balanced mode you actually do lose all your spirits on the first death. Alright, I got my spirits back. Maybe at a higher cost than it should have taken. I feel like that's not where I want to go. This very possibly is somewhere we've already been, and it definitely feels like a map would benefit us. Now let's just go here and see where that leads us. Not anywhere terrible. I don't think there was anything else to see over here. Although, who knows? Hey, there actually was something there. Seems like they're playing with the idea of the lava a little bit too much. I don't think it benefits me to let this guy go. Just kill him with the rage being high. He's still alive? I thought I got the final blow on him. We went down there and we collected the collectible there. I am not doing particularly well with my respite. I am getting my wrath up high fairly quickly, which does probably indicate that I should be using the wrath attacks more. That'd be a better, skillful way to play. And see, that's kind of a instant dodge kill, and all of a sudden I'm starting to get a little bit better at doing those. So this whole dungeon section definitely does feel like it's kind of linear. That we're going to come back to this area after getting each key, each sword as a key. Yeah, and I could get an attribute point and try and level this up more, and I probably should do that. We'll do that on the next recording though. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me, there's a bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.